2011. May we have a roll call, please?
Agency members: Friedman.
Here.
Najarian. Quintero.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Chairman Nukian.
Here. Can we have your report?
The agenda for the November 8th, 2011 regular meeting of the Glendale Redevelopment Agency was posted on Thursday, November 3, 2011 on the bulletin board outside City Hall. For this meeting, there are no minutes for approval. There was an oral communications card submitted, and the same rules will apply to the redevelopment oral communication as it did to the housing.
Thank you. We have no minutes. Oral communications. Did you?
There are two.
Oh, you read it already?
Yeah, I did.
Why didn't you tell me?
Read it if you want.
Mike Moyle.
Thank you.
Thank you, Artie and council members. My name is Mike Mohill, long-term resident of Glendale. Redevelopment Agency. Okay, here we go again. Okay, where's our plans for redevelopment on Maryland? I've asked for, let's go something different. We have restaurants that are going out of business. How long would that French restaurant last? Is what I wanted to. They must have put in $500,000 at least. And I saw nobody there today. Is today a restaurant holiday? Saw a lot of people at the Americana where I went with the wife. But if I walked from Staples stationery store on Glendale Avenue over to Brand, went through the marketplace, dead. All the stores, dead. What does it take to revitalize? I know we're going to have the bowling alley and those apartments, hopefully in the next year or so. But how about entertainment? I was just over there in NoHo this last weekend, and the El Portal Theater, packed with 2 theaters. Where's our theater district? I hear about it all the time. I also noticed that, I said, Lee, I told my wife this afternoon, I said, there's the Lemley Theater. And guess where the parking is going to be? She says, no, she's over here towards Harvard. That's about the closest place that will be by it. I says, because the only parking that's going to be there for are the residents of those apartments. I says, for us, it's no problem. We walk all the time. But most people don't want to get out of their car and walk. We're going to provide valet parking. Why didn't we make them have another floor of parking? Was it so difficult that we had to give the house away? Let the people who go to the movie theater park over there by the YMCA instead? Let those people and those residents in that area suffer because of poor planning by the redevelopment agency? I'd like to ask again, Mr. Najarian, why don't we look into a card club? A study. You study about how to brand Glendale, and what do we get? Hundreds of dollars, and we're branded all right. You know what I mean. And the arts, we spend hundreds of dollars about the arts development. We got what I think Mrs. Friedman said a couple of weeks ago, we have 2 new buildings, offices, they put some art inside. And for that we spend hundreds of dollars. But we can't find any money to do a study for a card club. You do studies for everything else. Why not a card club? Did you ever ask the residents of Glendale? Do a survey. You do a survey for everything else, like for bicycles, cars, parking, you name it. But I've never seen a survey asking the residents, would they like to have a card club in Glendale? Because nothing else is working in Glendale right now, and it won't probably for the next several years with the present economy. We have to think differently. Another restaurant doesn't do it. When you have unemployment in the area of 20%, that's part-time people. Lots of them. A lot of people are struggling on Social Security. The average Social Security resident makes about $25,000 a year. They can't go to the fancy restaurants in Glendale. And our population of elderly people in Glendale is growing. It's not shrinking. And the young folks can't afford that. Oh, there's part they could afford. They go to their parents and say, hey, Mom, give me $50 tonight. I'm going to have a night out with my girlfriend. We have to think differently. Staff keeps doing the same old thing. I've been coming here for 4 years, and nothing changes. We brought Bevo, the liquor store. Wow. That brought in a lot of business. That was different. What can we do different? Maybe a trolley down Maryland Avenue in the planning. Why don't we ask Mr. Caruso to think of something? Why don't we bring in private industry rather than the in-house? I don't know. Again, I walked down Maryland from Wilson to Harvard today. It was a ghost town. A ghost town. People are asking me, please, come to my restaurant. I'll give you a discount. I said, no, that's okay. I just ate over across the street at Foxy's. Now, Foxy doesn't have to give out discounts at all.
Thank you, Mr. Mohill. Harvey Pearson?
Honorable Chair and agency members, I just would like to say that I've noticed, first of all, I'm a Los Feliz resident, but Glendale...
Your name for the record.
Harvey Pearson.
Thank you.
Los Feliz resident, yes, sir. And Glendale Dennison for many years. I have family here, so I'm here all the time. And I just wanted in this right now to say that I noticed how nicely the park area is being, the second stage, I guess it would be, of Central Park. And I also furthermore noticed there are 6 trees there in the northwest corner. And there would be a certain kind of what they call exercise zones, particularly one that I've used, that would fit right in there. It has like all kinds of exercise equipment for outdoor use, and I believe it would cost a fraction of what, like the soccer field, $850,000 the newspaper said, maybe $5,000 I've read somewhere to put such an exercise zone in there. But some of the same benefits would accrue. And we've heard about the obesity epidemic among youth in Glendale, South Glendale in particular. And where do they have to go, really, to get some good exercise is a question, when they're out of school anyway. And so I put on the written material, I think I write better than I talk, I hope. There's a URL address on there in which if you click on that, you can see an actual, what it looks like, people using these machines and everything. And so I hope you would do that. I've used them personally. How much time do I have? No, a lot of time. I understand there's a green field that would be going in Maryland Avenue Mini Park, unless that's been hit with budget cuts. I don't know. Maybe it's been sacrificed for other needs. And I've tried Greenfield. And in Johnny Carson Park in Burbank, there's World Trails, which is nice as its own kind of exercise equipment. But the Triactive America one, and first of all, I have no connection with Triactive America whatsoever, economically or anything. I just happen to have used their equipment. There's one in the city of Bill, much benighted Bill, but they did manage to put one of those in. And it's the superior type, as far as I'm concerned. And it just seems like it would be a good, something nice to fit in right in that northwest corner. And yet the majority of the park would still be park. It doesn't take up that much space. It's amazing. You know, they call it a zone. So you can see in the promotional, it is a promotional video. That's true. It's put out by Triactive America. And however, they put out several promotional videos, and I just thought myself that's the best one. It really showed what people would look like if they were going over to get on the exercise equipment and so on. That just seemed to me to be the best. And but it is a promotional one. I can only say I've used, because I have arthritis, and so I myself go for these machines. But young people use them too. And by the way, the adult recreation center's exercise room is frequently overcrowded. And But these zones, if you see it on you can see it on your screen. They can say it better. What do they say? A picture's worth 1,000 words. And with that, I'll leave a minute of unsaid words and hope you at least look at that URL. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson.
I think that's a very good idea, actually. I think we've all been to different parks where they have these little workout stations. Doesn't have to be huge, but I think that's a great idea. Maybe we can get the Parks Department to
I agree.
evaluate and see what we can do. And I think Maryland does have the sort of workout circuit that you're talking about, Mr. Pearson, if I remember the old, yeah. But I think there at the Central Park, it wouldn't have to be obtrusive. It can be in a particular location. Thank you.
No, I was just going to say I agree. Yeah, I know that they are trying not to program Central Park because they're sort of waiting to see what they want to evolve it into. But it seems to me that this type of equipment could be moved fairly easily if they decided to replace it with something else. And we certainly have other places we could put it. I don't think there's anything like that in Brand Park or any of the other large parks. But the Maryland Mini Park, I'm pretty sure, as Mr. Quintero said, does have that. And the reason that these...
Myself, I've used Greenfield. Out here.
Well, I was waiting for the chair, not for me.
If you're going to speak, you got to come up to the mic.
Yeah, I'm sure that they'll evaluate different equipment and take a look. And the reason that the park, as far as I'm assuming that the reason the park hasn't happened yet is because all of our redevelopment projects are frozen because of the state trying to take away redevelopment. So hopefully after January, the courts will rule in our favor and we'll be able to have access to that funding.
$5,000, maybe even general funds could manage it.
Well, maybe there's certainly agreement on the dais that it's certainly a worthwhile, thank you, Mr. Pearson, worthwhile project to look into, and I'm sure that staff will look into it and will give us all the options of funding that we have at our disposal. So thank you very much. It's a great suggestion. Next, we have business agenda. We have nothing on the business agenda. Do we have any agency member or staff comments?
I just have a quick comment. We've had members of the public ask, and it's a fair concern, why we have meetings if we don't have anything on the agenda. And I think that this gentleman has given us a very good example why it is important for us to meet, because members of the public have their own timetable, and sometimes they have important business they want to address with us, as Mr. Pearson did.
Well taken. Thank you. We have no new business. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We are adjourned. Without a second.